Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. As you've seen from the title, we are talking about Among Us. Now this will be the rise and the eventual fall of the game Among Us. So, if you haven't heard or played Among Us, you're either living under a rock for the past couple months, or you don't have internet. Now most people do have internet nowadays, so you've probably heard of Among Us or even played it. With a massive amount of downloads, you've probably played it yourself. Now, let's talk about the rise of the game Among Us. This was back in 15th of June 2018, and that is when the game actually got released. Now, many people don't know it got released 2 years ago, but it was, and it only just started blowing up. For some people thought it was like released this year, but no. Now, 3 developers got together: Marcus Bromanda, Forrest Willard, and Amy Liu. Sorry if I butchered those names. Came together and made the game we know today as Among Us. Now, it took them a couple months, I think, to make it. I think Amy Lou did art, basically the art, and then I didn't research this, but I think Amy Lou did the art, Marcus Bromanda did the programming, and I don't know what Forrest Willard did. So these 3 people came together and made the game we know as Among Us. Now, Among Us, and as it's published, wasn't the game we know now. It was very different. It had a lot of bugs, like most games do on release. It had a lot of bugs and not a lot of people. But the game did get quite a lot of downloads. I think it was like 100,000 downloads before it blew up, which isn't too bad, I would say. Now, we have to go into the future by 2 years to 7th of August 2020. Now, this was when the Henry Stickmin collection game came out, 7th of August 2020, and obviously everyone loved it. It was on top 1 on YouTube for a bit, and then people started realizing that there's these little secret Easter eggs in it, which were about Among Us, and a couple Twitch streamers, pretty popular, started playing it, just seeing it, and that was the spark which made this whole thing happen. So YouTube, like every YouTuber, every Twitch streamer, every granddad, every person on the world downloaded Among Us. It went from 100,000 to 100 million downloads in just a couple months. Now, obviously, this is an amazing accomplishment, so well done. Now, you may think Innersloth made it, but they're the publishers of the game. Publishers of the game is different than like the developers of it. So, we all basically have to thank it for a couple of Twitch streamers and Henry Stickmin. But now, it's time to talk about the eventual downfall of the game. Now, every great thing has to have an end, and that's a true statement with Among Us. It has to end one day. Now, it's gonna be at the top for a couple years, I would say. Obviously, no one knows how it's gonna end. So these are totally just my opinions of how I think it's going to end. So, with 3 developers only, obviously, updates are very, very rare. Now, there's only been a couple bug fixes, and they're basically the only updates. But with the airship map coming soon in early 2021, now that's gonna get a lot of players back. Maybe even old players coming back to the game, seeing the new map and enjoying it, and that's gonna boost them even more. People are gonna play even more, so that's gonna give them an extra couple months of, time being the top 1. But there's gonna start being a time where the developers just can't make loads and loads of updates which satisfy the community. It happens with every game. Happens with basically every game. Like, there's only a couple developers, they can't update the game enough. And people just get bored. There's no new content, only bug fixes. Yeah, people will eventually get bored of it. But, remember, this is going to be in a very long time, so you can still enjoy the game with friends. And I think there is a way to stop this. If they hire more developers, then they could get updates rolling out quicker and quicker and quicker. But if that doesn't happen, then the game is going to end. It's going to meet its demise soon. It's going to actually meet its demise soon if they don't get more developers or anything like that. So that was the rise and the eventual fall of Among Us. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video because this took quite a while to edit and research, and also subscribe. We're trying to get to 150 subscribers before summer. I know it's pretty specific, before summer. So I hope you enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next time.